If you're doing better in your life, you haven't been into the liquor stores and getting none of the fancy drinks, you haven't standing in none of those lines where you're getting some of them substances to use, you're doing better, right? You done got a job, got a car, you're doing all the right things for your recovery, but your family still look at you with that side eye, like they don't believe or they don't trust what you're doing anymore. If that's the case with you, this video is for you. Because in this video, I'm going to break down how to rebuild trust with family members after addiction. But before we get started, make sure you guys go in the description and check out a free 7-day trust repair plan I created just for you, because that's going to show you how to fix it. This video right here is going to show you what the problem is. We have to remember that your family members, they did not hear about your drug usage, right? Your madness. They didn't hear about you going to jail. They didn't hear about you like crashing a car, losing your job, all those things right there. They didn't hear about that. They actually lived through it with you. And he's seen a lot of patterns that repeated themselves over and over again. So that's why they're moving a little bit slower than other people. Your family is not guessing. They remember. They've seen too many variations or versions of this before. That's why they're so standoffish. And a lot of times they don't trust how long you've been sober, because you've been sober before. You've been sober for 6 months, a year, and then you fall back into that same track, the same addiction, doing those same crazy things after you said, I was sorry, I'm not going to do it no more. So that's why they don't trust how much time you got. They really trust what you do each and every day. And this is where you usually mess up at, right? You do good for a while, then you fall off. You say you're going to do something, and then you don't follow through. And your energy is good most of the time, but you always catch an attitude and you get irritated. Your mood switches back and forth. And this is the one that really gets us, because we get like an ego trip where we start off strong. We get a good 6 months, a year and a half, and then we start fading with certain patterns that we show our family and friends. From the outside, it looks like it's still the same. And for some of us, our family start trusting us again maybe a little bit sooner. I know for me, it took probably about a year, because I was using drugs for over 35 years. I was homeless. I was living on the streets. I was out of my family life. I was out of their life for so long, they thought I was unalive. So when I came back in their life, it took them a minute to start trusting me again, or even having me around without clenching their purses, putting their money up, right? Not expecting me to ask them for something. Because every time I showed up in my addiction, before I left, I said, hey, let me get $20. Imagine if you was on the other side, you was one of your family members. Would you trust you yet? But what brought back trust was me doing something over a period of time, right? When I showed up to the family gatherings, I showed up with, things in hand, right? When I left, I didn't ask for $20. Sometimes, or a lot of times, I get my nieces and nephews money. It's not about the money. It's about, just being consistent and doing positive things, being there for the family. Just showing up is the most important thing. You don't always have to bring gifts. Just being there when they ask you to come over for like birthday parties, or show up for the barbecues, the Easter egg hunts, or whatever, family got going on. Just as long as you show up. And don't ask for them when you leave. If you really want to gain the trust back with your family, you have to do something over a period of time. You just can't just do something periodically, like show up every now and then. You have to do it every single time, especially if you say you're going to show up. You say you're going to show up and then you cancel at the last minute. That's not how it works, because they're going to default back to the same, or thinking of the same version of your old self. We all heard the saying of faith without works is dead, right? You can have faith, you can pray that God rebuild trust with your family so y'all can be cool again and kicking it like y'all used to back in the day. But without putting the work in, they're not going to trust you like they used to. And it's not about what you say. It's about what you keep on doing. Apologizing and saying you're sorry, that's not what's going to do it, right? What's going to do it is just showing up, right? Being the person that God created you to be over and over again on a consistent basis. And I know this really works, because it worked for me. My family didn't even know who I was anymore. They knew the old version of me. They knew when I was a kid what type of teenager I was. And then in my 20s, 30s, and my early 40s, I was another type of person. So they really didn't even know who I was. But being around them so much and just being present, talking to them on the phone, answer their phone calls when they call and not putting it off, calling once a week, right? Just checking in with them, having conversations, not asking for anything, calling to like dump negative stuff on them, ask them how they doing and how can I help. It got to the point where I got family members calling me and asking me for advice because they seen how headstrong I was and they watch my walk. They're watching my walk because they're always going to be watching. There's going to be a time where they start looking at you as the solid one, just like they did for me. That's why I created the 7-day trust repair plan. It's things that I do every day of the week that help me rebuild trust in my family. I had made a lot of mistakes in the beginning, but now I show other individuals in the field that I work in and also people that's in the fellowship, and it worked for them too as well. I have a lot of success stories, so I know it's proven. It really works. And you have to remember, you don't have to prove anything. You just need to be consistent. Same behavior every day. And it may feel like hate, like they hate you or they don't like you anymore. It's not that. And it's not judgment either. They just don't know who you're going to be yet. Because when we was out there for so long, that's the picture that they have in their head of who you are. It's not about who you were, it's who you are. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. My whole life, I've been using drugs and alcohol, and God has saved me, and I understand why he saved me. He saved me to mend my relationships. First of all, he saved me to get a stronger relationship with him, a stronger relationship with myself, learn how to love myself, love his children, which is my family, loved ones, and friends, and also my employer. So I show up as me each and every day. So everything that I've learned on how to rebuild relationships with family, loved ones, and friends, with myself, and also with my higher power. If you want to know how I did it, make sure you guys come back and check out my future videos and also check out some of my other ones.